female friend, and we were talking about like the whole dating world, and he told me there's two things he looks out for in a woman's social media. He said if she posts half naked photos, that's a red flag, and he's valid for that, because that just shows that that girl is mad insecure and really just wants people's validation. So facts. But he also said a woman who posts like, has a bunch of stories of her traveling. And I was like, what's the big deal about that? I don't get it. People travel. He's like, nah, there's a difference. If she's alone in every fucking photo, that means she's getting fucked. I was like, shit. Fuck, yeah, you right. Because I know a lot of girls that travel alone, okay? They're not. They are getting fucked. And I was like, well, what about the girls who go out with, they go travel with their friends? I know a couple of girls like that. He's like, probably getting fucked. Less likely. But the ones who post alone are getting fucked. And I'm like, God damn. That's smart fucking thinking.
If she's posting on vacation, she's posting up at fancy restaurants, she's posting up solo and with no friends, focus on yourself, King. Focus on yourself.
Okay, so I have a genuine question for everybody on this app. Why is it, because I've been seeing this a lot and I'm genuinely confused, why is it that everyone's like, oh, it's such a red flag if a girl has travel highlights of everywhere she's traveled to on her Instagram? I mean, I ask because I'm guilty of it. But why is that a red flag? I mean, I'm gonna assume that it's because men cannot fathom that women have money to book flights for themselves and, generally want to go places and then make it happen for themselves. But like, is everyone's assumption really that when girls travel a lot, that someone else is paying for it? Like, this actually blows my mind. And I've been seeing it so much in the comments on a lot of these videos, and I've been seeing it a lot and like red flag videos for girls and stuff. Like, honestly, if we could all actually manifest that for all the girls of the world, I would be very grateful. Like, when I tell you that not even my father has paid for me to go somewhere. Every time I want to travel, I open my wallet and use the money that I made at my job, and I book a flight, and I book the hotel or Airbnb, and I go. And guess what? I pay for my excursions, I pay for my food. But honestly, you're right. It is a walking red flag because I feel like somebody should like me enough to pay for all of that. I mean, all this just to say that, newsflash buddy, some girls travel a lot, and unfortunately, they pay for it. Hope this helps.
I seen a video, I think it was on the Average Man Unplugged channel, and they was talking about women, dude was talking about the red flags that you spot while dating. If you see a woman that's on social media and she's always, traveling with pictures by herself, and you see it all the time. They in places where, they can't afford, or they in like different countries all the time, and they always pictures with their friends or by themselves that, they for sale. You see it amongst the very, very, it used to be preserved for the elite women, for the elite of the elite women, the beautiful women like that, right? That was reserved for them. But let's talk about it. Thumbs up the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel, hit the link in the description, join the Patreon, right? And that used to be reserved for them. And now you got dudes flying out all types of women, right? But usually the women that's traveling always at the high restaurants, a lot of times they for sale. A lot of these fitness influencers, a lot of these personal trainers, or these chicks at the gym that got these beautiful bodies, and you don't see a ring on their finger, and they young, and you see them on social media, or you talk to them and they always traveling and all that type of stuff. Yeah, they're for sale. And the only thing that they got to worry about is trying to find the right one and cash out at the right time. But most women don't ever cash out at the right time. They feel like, I can keep doing this for a little bit longer. Then when they want to find a husband, when they 33, 35, 36, they can still find a guy. But guess what? It's hard to find a guy because you done been to Spain. You done been to China. You done been to all these 5-star restaurants. And now you expecting a regular dude to do that. Now all the expectations you have of, you know, the dudes that, you know, the sugar daddies that you've been with, or the dudes that been tricked off on you. You want your husband to be, you know, a great father, a great trick. You know, you want him to put it down in the bedroom. And most of the times, what's so funny about it is the guys that's taking them on these trips, usually old sugar daddies, the ping don't be hitting on nothing. So don't believe they ain't got a guy that's really gonna fix they thing. So it get deeper and deeper. But a lot of women that solo travel with their home girls, it's all girls on the trip. You think they ain't looking for something, bro? Especially if they all ain't married. Especially if one is like, bro. That's what dudes have really got hip. Because women have ran their mouth on social media, or guys have experienced that. You know, it's another thing, little small, you know, sub talk, little interjection here. When you see these women that's always moving state to state, a lot of them be trying to erase what they were. You'll see a woman move from Cali to Arizona, from Arizona to Florida to New York, you know, just these different places because they name be bad. A lot of these women have been ran through. A lot of these women have scammed these dudes. They done robbed these dudes and they get out of Dodge. They done finesse these dudes out of money. They done rob them while they selling the cat. So that's another thing. When you see a girl, let's just for like, if it's for reasons like education, like, oh, I went to school here, or I went to, but if you see women, or I was in the military, you see women constantly moving around and they ain't stayed here, they just stayed there. I'm telling you, bro, that's another red flag. And no matter how good these girls really look, you know what I'm saying, that's always, they got these pictures there's never a man in these pictures, bro. And you ask her occupation, physical trainer, or you know, fitness trainer, personal trainer, or work at Aldi, you know, work at Aldi's, or work at the grocery store, or work at a little spot as a secretary. You think that's enough money to fund that lifestyle? Absolutely not. No. They always somewhere traveling. They always at a nice restaurant. They always doing this, that, and the third. You be the number one thing that goes through a man's mind is like, how does she afford that? That's the number one thing that goes through most men's mind is how does she afford it? And you go through the pictures and it's never a man in the picture. It might be some of her girlfriends in the picture. And it's some dudes that get off on tricking. No doubt about it. There's some dudes that really get off on tricking. It's some dudes that really enjoy the trick. It was the city girl, Krayshana, or Young Miami, whatever you want to. She had a video where she was showing a guy that was just older black gentleman, and he was just spending money on her at the mall. You know, had a little hat on, and some dudes get off by tricking. You know what I'm saying? So of course it ain't nothing for some dudes to spend money on her and her homegirls for a dinner or something. They always somewhere nice. You be like, oh, what does she do? And her occupation don't match her lifestyle. You be like, man, you be like, okay, I get it. But once they experience that lifestyle like that, y'all, once they experience that, bro, the chances of them, unless they marry them guys that's in that circle, the chances of them finding that guy, you know, finding a husband is less and less likely. It's less and less likely, bro. That's what they don't understand. You're around all these guys, and why you should strike while the iron is hot. And a lot of these guys are married them, but for them, it's all about the aesthetic. With the modern woman, it's all about how it looks. Me with a 60-year-old man that ain't really fucking hot or willing, he really ain't the shit like that or whatever. In their mind, no. This is why they won't date the plumber. They'd be like, well, I'll date this guy, and I don't know, he can be some cool job. He's a streamer. He makes 100K, but the plumber making 250K. It just doesn't, to them, it's all about the look. It's just like, you know, when they did that video on how to sell to Negroes. I got to do that video. You know, eventually I'll do it on the main channel. But how to sell to Negroes. You sell to Negroes on the name brand and not the quality. Long story short. The name brand and not the quality. Women are the same thing. They just how it look to other girls. That's the whole thing about an engagement ring. They don't care about how strong the marriage is. They don't care about how strong the marriage is. Women care about how extravagant the wedding was, how extravagant the ring was. It's not about the strength of the marriage. I don't care shit about the marriage. It's like how they turn over to God. I don't give a heck. Most women who, claim to be godly, they don't give a fuck about God. Excuse my language. They don't care. They just think, oh, now I'm a reformed woman and I'm a woman of God. Some man will come and scoop me. It ain't even that, real talk, it ain't even that God is going to send them a man. To them, it's some man that's going to scoop and save me. That's in their mind. So, yeah, when we start having these conversations about the modern woman traveling, they never see a guy in the picture. It's always the friends or the food, or they on the yacht, they on the boat. I mean, you really don't want to deal with that. And for them, and honestly, the dudes that's funding it, they know it's some dude who ain't got 10% of what they got that's cleaning her pipes, knocking the screws loose in her head. You know what I'm saying? And they don't mind, busting it open, letting, a 50-year-old man Todd get or 60-year-old man Todd get a 2-pump special. They don't mind it. Make sure, they take their plan B or make this just for in case or whatever, and that's what it is. Because some of them be a mistress. Absolutely. A lot of these women be mistress. A lot of these women be side chicks going on these side quests. And a little side note, that's what the modern woman don't understand. When you talking about, dealing with athletes or dealing with men's and means and you didn't really get it from the mud with them, what you got to understand, them having hoes going to come with it. You just got to have structure around it. Especially if they didn't grow up or they didn't have experienced women. They got money and they get money because of their women. Real talk. A lot of these, you're going to be dealing with this side chick or that side chick or this, that, and the third. And if he find out you doing something, you cut off. And a lot of women can't deal with that rule. That's the God honest truth. A lot of women can't deal with that rule. They can't deal with it. So most of the women that want that man or want that lifestyle, they're not built for it. They're not built for it. And that's true. They just not built for that. They not built for that life. So that's what I really don't be under. They be, well, white dudes, why can't this guy make $1 million and I come into his life after he become a millionaire and keep making millions and be faithful to me? Why would he? Because you wouldn't. You see a woman get a promotion and make $1,000 more than her husband a month, and she ready to kick this dude out and ready to get I'm the woman of the house. I can do you what you can do, and I'm leveling up, and I don't want to be with you no more. Divorce, you better not ask me for nothing in a divorce. And then come to find out, don't work that way. Plenty of women do that, bro. Watch a woman's attitude when she has to spend money on you as a man. Or you ask your woman for money or ask her for a favor. Watch her attitude. It's going to let you know everything you need to know. If she give it to you, she going to expect you to pay it back. But if you give her some money and she says she going to pay it back and she don't pay it back, she going to get offended by you. She going to try to give you the same ass Uchi Wally, same ass head, same ass whatever. You know what I'm saying? So real talk, there's so many ways of kind of knowing this shit about women, dog. So many ways of knowing, bro. But that's all I had to say. Hit the link in the description. Join the Patreon. Peace.
Okay, so somebody asked me in my DMs, when I go over the road, how much do I travel with? So initially, when I leave from wherever my starting point is, like my home base or wherever I'm at the time, I personally travel with enough money for food for the first 2 days and enough for my room for the first 2 days. I like to challenge myself to make me really get out and get it, because I know me, being that I am very comfortable and very secured and stable, that if I leave with $500, I'll be like, I got a couple of nights, whatever. I could just let it gag. Oh, no. When you leave with just a day or two, it makes you get your hustle on. That's how I make the fastest money, as soon as I hit town, because it's just like, right now I traveled with a little bit of more because I kept some cash on me from when I made money before I left in Tennessee. So I got a little bit of money on me, but that money is put up in my savings book. So once I put something in my savings book, whether it's my $100 challenge book or I put it in my savings or something, I don't retouch. But yeah, so basically I travel enough for a day or two.